So welcome back to image processing class. Today we'll start with unit 4. The topic is point, line and edge detection. Uh, some part of unit 3 is still remaining, that is image restoration, that I will take after completing uh, this part of unit 4. So in this lecture we are going to see how to detect point, line and edge. Also, we are going to discuss what is the difference between edge and boundary, which we have already discussed during the special domain enhancement technique. So we'll just go through it once again. So all these things are very important in image segmentation. What is segmentation? Segmentation subdivides an image into its constituent regions or objects. In simple language, segmentation means dividing the image into various parts. So where we can use this image segmentation? For example, automated blood cell counting. HUS automatically segments the image into RBCs and WBCs. The computer scans the image and based on the certain predefined criteria, classify the image into WBCs and RBCs. Similarly, you can use this for classifying the land into various classes. So you can segment the entire land into some predefined criteria and then you can apply classification techniques to decide whether it's a water body or forest or land. So segmentation is used for computer decision making and not for human interpretation. So image segmentation algorithms are based on two basic properties. First is based on discontinuities in intensity and second is based on similarities in intensity. Based on discontinuities in intensity means we are going to partition an image based on sudden changes in intensity. For example, edges. In case of similarity, we are going to partition an image into regions that are similar according to set of predefined criteria. Now we'll see image segmentation based on discontinuities. So there are three types of discontinuities: point, line and edges. To detect these discontinuities, the masks are used. First we'll see what is point, how to detect a point. So point, lines and edges are high frequency components. So we have to use high pass filter mask. Since the high pass masks are used, the sum of all coefficient of the mask has to be equal to 0. So if you remember, this mask we had applied while learning special domain enhancement technique. So this is a Laplacian mask, second order derivative filter, which we had applied for extracting high frequency components. And what is this R? R is a convolution, R is the new value and we are applying a convolution by applying this mask on the filter image, on the image to get a filtered image. Okay, so this, you know, it's a 3x3 mask which we have applied, so we'll get this new value R. So after applying a mask or convolution on image, we set a threshold value. If the point has more value than threshold, then the point is detected. So here we have mentioned mod of R is greater than T or greater than equal to T depending upon the user's constraint or a condition. Okay, so where T is a threshold value and we have taken mod of R because we are taking non-negative threshold. So we take mod R because we want to detect both the kinds of points, that is white point on a black background and black point on a white background. Next is line detection. Lines can be in any direction. For different directions, we need different masks. Following masks are used for line detections. So here you can notice that sum of all the coefficients are equal to 0 for all the masks. So they are all high pass filter masks. The first mask the first mask will respond strongly to lines that are oriented horizontally. Okay. Similarly, for the next mask is for the lines which are 45 degrees, the third mask for the vertical lines, and fourth mask for minus 45 degrees lines. Okay, lines oriented in minus 45 degrees. So if we use the first mask, which is a horizontal mask, that will detect only the horizontal lines, the lines which are in horizontal directions, and will not detect all other lines. Same thing is applicable for other mask. Next is edge detection. We have already discussed long back what is edge and how to detect the edge, and what is the difference between edge and boundaries. So edge is a high frequency component, depending upon the discontinuities, gray level discontinuities. We can identify the edge. Okay, so edge is a set of connected pixels. Now you know what is connected pixel, what is the meaning of connected pixel. We have learned adjacencies. That time we had mentioned that uh, when the pixels are adjacent to each other and when they satisfy a predefined criteria, some criteria set of V, okay, then only we can say they are connected pixels. So the boundary between two regions with relatively distinct gray level properties, okay, is known as edge. And what's the difference between edge and boundary? Edge is a local concept and boundary is a global concept. Okay. So suppose there are regions in the image, regions. Suppose for example we are taking aerial image, okay, and there are water bodies, forest areas, and salt pans, and many other land covers. So one particular region, suppose I am taking a water body, so it's a homogeneous area having similar properties. All the pixels in that area will have the similar properties. Okay, so the transition between the two regions like water bodies and forests can be determined on the basis of gray level discontinuities alone. So here on the left hand side, a model of an ideal digital edge is shown. Okay, there is a sharp transition or sudden discontinuity from black to gray. Okay, so that can be shown as a step signal. So this is a gray level profile of a horizontal line through the image. Okay, there is a sudden change from 0 to 1. On the right hand side, image B, this is a model of a ramp edge. So here you can see that there is a gradual change from black to gray. There is no sudden change. So that can be represented using the ramp signal. The slope of the ramp is proportional to the degree of blurring in the edge. So in the image shown here, okay, there are two regions separated by a vertical edge. It's not a sudden change. There is the edge is blurred edge, so there is a gradual change from black to gray. So that can be represented using a ramp over here. Okay, then we have taken a first order derivative and then second order derivative here. So this concept we have already discussed while studying spatial domain enhancement techniques. Okay, the magnitude of the first derivative is used to detect an edge. Okay, and for this we can use the gradient filter, and the sign of the second derivative can determine whether an edge pixel is on dark or light side of an edge. So second order derivative means we can use Laplacian filter for this. So the second order derivative produces two responses for every edge. The line that can be formed joining its positive and negative values. So here this, if you join these 2 points here, okay, it crosses a 0 at the midpoint of the edge. Okay, this is very important property known as zero crossing property. So these are few figures, images you can see. The first image A is the original image. When we applied the gradient in x direction, you can see all the edges in x direction which are visible here. Then when we apply a gradient in y direction, we got all vertical edges, and this is a combination addition of x and y direction. Okay, so you get all the edges over here. So same sequence in the previous figure. Okay, we have applied the original image is smoothen, means we have applied a blurring filter on this first, and then we have applied the edge detectors. In this image you can see there are diagonal edges which are detected by using the mask. There are different masks available for different directions of the edges. We have already seen that plus 45 degrees, minus 45 degrees, vertical and horizontal. Now here you can see there are two types of images. Okay, first image is from gray to white, white to gray. Second image is from white to gray, gray to white. So you can see the difference here. So there are smooth edges due to blurring. Okay, so you will get this gray level profile here, and for this particular image you will get this type of gray level profile. Okay, so here it's a first order derivative filter. You will get a positive pulse for leading edge and negative for trailing edge, and 0 in constant gray levels here. Okay, here again it is opposite because there is a transition from white to gray. You will get opposite. First you will get a negative pulse, and then you are getting a positive pulse over here. Then for second order derivative filter, you can see positive you will get from dark side, and negative for light side. Okay, and constant in gray level. Constant where the gray levels are, there is no variation. Okay, similarly here, but you can notice that there are two pulses you will get for second order derivative and one pulse for first order derivative filter, that we have already discussed. So that's why you get two fine lines for second order derivative filters. So the magnitude of the first order derivative filter detects the presence of an edge, and the sign of the second order derivative filter detects whether the edge pixel lies on the dark or light side of an image. And the zero crossing property, which is very important. The second order derivative has that property, and at the midpoint it gives the midpoint of the edge. Now if you remember, when I taught you second order derivative filter, that is Laplacian, I said that it is very sensitive to noise. Okay, so if the input image is noisy, and if you apply Laplacian to it, the noise will get enhanced. Why? Because noise is a high frequency component. So that time I told you that you can use LOG, Laplacian of Gaussian. So Gaussian is a smoothing filter or a low pass filter. So first you will apply Gaussian to remove the noise, and then apply Laplacian to it. So this is called as LOG, Laplacian of Gaussian. So this is the formula for that. Here sigma is the standard deviation, and x and y are is the size of the mask. So you will get a mask with this formula, and you can apply that on the image with the help of convolution.